Right, so from jungle life to parenting life, and Prince William has revealed in a recent interview that none of his children are allowed to have phones. I wonder if it helps if you've got nannies to enforce that. Anyway, but just thinking out loud. But it's becoming a tense issue, there you go, because his oldest son, Prince George, isn't happy.
Our children don't have phones. I think when George moves on to secondary school, then maybe he might have a phone that has no internet access.
But now he's... How is he now?
He's 12.
And he has no phones?
No phones.
No way.
And to be honest, it's getting to the point where it's becoming a little bit of a like tense issue. But I think he understands why. We communicate why we don't think it's right. And again, I think it's the internet access I have a problem with. I think children can access too much stuff they don't need to see online. And so having a phone and text message, the old sort of brick phones they call them, I think that's fine.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, interesting. I mean, the thing is, we all want to say, oh, I'll just give him a brick phone, but I'm thinking back to when my mum used to give me homemade bread hummus sandwiches at school, and how, like, the whole day I was just so embarrassed. And that's the equivalent to a Nokia phone. I mean,
it's big.
You know, you're going in with a Nokia, hummus sandwiches.
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
So we have these ideas, and then it becomes so much more difficult to get older.
No, but if you hear what he said, he didn't say... He said no to the phone because of what it implements. It's a duality, really, because actually he doesn't want the social media. He doesn't want the access to the internet. I don't think you should have phones in schools just for the idea of, you know, being completely and utterly distracted by it all the time, and then there becomes the hierarchy. Have you got the right phone, and who's messaging you, and so forth. But ultimately, a phone is a tool, and I think the best way around it, because you ban it, they're going to just look for it anyway, is to show them how to use it properly. In the same way you'd implement a knife. If you use it incorrectly, you'll cut yourself. If you use it wisely, you can perform surgery.
So what would you say is the correct way?
I think it's something called phone hygiene, and my kids will be like rolling their eyes.
Are they cringing now as they're watching it?
They'll go phone hygiene. But I will say, right, we've got really clear regulations around it. You don't have it at the dinner table verbatim. But I say that now, then you go to a restaurant and they don't give you a menu, they give you a phone.
I know.
So I think it's that duality of messaging once again, or people have screens at the table, so then you look the boring parent because someone else has got them, and there's no judgment, but it's that duality of messaging. So I think there should be tighter regulations, definitely around social media. Everyone's got a way of getting around it, including the children.
And do your children stick to the rules that you've set out?
I'm sure they don't, but it's still my job as the parent to enforce it and give the example of it. Because how many times have you been out with friends and they're all full on their phones? Yeah. They're always on them.
Yes,
and you can't
not always
get their
children,
attention.
adults going to meetings. I absolutely hate it.
Well, they should practice what they
adults go in
preach.
and under the desk, they're supposed to be taking part in the meeting. Under the desk, they're busy receiving messages and sending them.
But
so it's not
just young children. Do you ever say anything, Gloria? Do you have a bit of a go at them if they do that?
I really don't like that because,
did you say anything
as you just said, you know, I ban the phones when my grandchildren come to see me.
Phone hygiene.
Yes. Well, you want to call it, that's fine. I just say they're banned because I want to hear their chat. Yeah. I want to hear their talking and what they've been up to and what they're doing and all of that. So I find it disturbing in a way to see so many people, but particularly young people, lashed to their phone, cannot be without them.
But digital literacy is important. Yeah. A lot of the homework at school is set on tablets or online. So, again, it's about explaining to children how to get themselves out of sticky situations, how to use these tools correctly so they don't harm them and they can actually benefit from them. Should they be going off in schools? Absolutely not. But then schools, like I said, set so much work online.
What do you do with your youngest one?
He doesn't have a phone, but he's 6, and I'm going to make sure I uphold that, you know, quite vehemently. But I have a 14-year-old and I have an 18-year-old, and I do feel that they look at me because, and they should do, even though I feel like I'm quite tech-savvy, they look at me like I'm a Luddite because they're digital natives. Yeah. They've been raised around
You have a spread of children. I mean, you've had different ages. Well, you know what I mean. A spread of ages it should be.
I spread when I had the children.
But here's the point. I mean, did you at that want them to have a phone just for their safety, to know that they're on their way home or whatever the information
I think that's the
was?
lie that I've always told myself. They must have it so that I can feel safe. But actually, it's because it's really, really handy to have a phone and for your child to have a phone. And I couldn't have been a parent if there wasn't a TV and movies. I wouldn't have been able to do it because sometimes I can't cope and I would just give them something to watch. But I know when I'm lying to myself and I try and correct it, and sometimes I pass and sometimes I fail. But I think that, in a way, you've got a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
In a way, I think that you're quite lucky because when our kids got them, it was all kind of new and we had no advice. We didn't know. But you'll have... I assume have thought about this already.
100%,
right?
because that's why I love listening and asking questions, because we don't have a phone, but she just turned 2, started with screen time. And I've seen already the facts. If she watches something and I switch it off, she genuinely turns into a Tasmanian devil. And she just throws herself on the floor. She's 2. And I was like, there's no way. So I like, Mylene, when you're like, I'm going to teach her how to use it when she can comprehend it, of course. Yeah. So for the moment, my thought was like, you're not getting it. Like, she's not allowed TV at all. But I think when we teach children how to use these tools later on, it can be beneficial.
Yeah. But isn't the messaging here that the future King of England is not saying no phones verbatim? He's actually questioning the regulation of the tech companies over the internet.
And that's what we need to do. That's what we need to keep on banging on about. It's the tech companies.
We shall bang.
Yeah. It's going to drive you mad being a loose woman. You're going to get all these different...
She's going to be phone hygiene.
Oh, guys. I'm going to be the perfect mom.
Still to go.